Hey everyone, sitting here wanted to touch base with you. Things are still progressing, waiting and seeing how this is developing in the nation right now. And here in Syracuse and New York, things are kind of scarce and supplies are low. It's hard to get things. Here, same way with my sister in West Palm Beach. So, and my sister in Atlanta. So this is happening, and it is a little scary how quickly globally something can collapse, and it does allow an opportunity because it just lets you see how quickly the scenario or the stage could be set for what we see biblically as the end times or the coming of the Lord, and even just how quickly we had to be ordered to not gather and not meet, and we're doing it because we believe it's the right thing to do. But again, these are all things that you just notice how quickly things could collapse. Now, let me just say with some of the crazy stuff that's being out there and being said, I do see one positive because, this is a serious situation that we're facing. And some are saying, it's not as deadly as other diseases. And that's true. Something like the measles, every person who gets it can contaminate, or on average, 16 other people. So yeah, there are other worse and more deadly diseases out there. But the good thing about what's going on right now is if the Lord doesn't return very quickly, and this is allowing us to really almost have a serious practice run and see our preparedness for when something worse does happen. And we see how quickly it can spread, especially if it were an airborne virus. And it gives our government, our nation, it gives all of us a chance to see just how prepared we really are. And we'll be better prepared if something serious or more serious comes along. The other day I shared with you from Luke chapter 9 and Jesus feeding the 5,000, and how the multiplication came as a result of him giving away the little that they had, right? So they didn't have a lot, but they gave it away. And that's what made the multiplication occur. So I challenge you to do that, to not in this moment be thinking, how do I keep what I have because there's barely enough for me, but to be thinking, how can I give? And a couple of people have shared with me. Linda shared a story where she shared with a neighbor, and I want to share with you a story from Elaine Boda from our church. Not too long ago, a couple months ago, she was at the store and she bought a bag of chicken thighs, and she told me, I don't eat chicken thighs, I don't cook them, and I don't know why I bought them. And then this week she was checking in on a neighbor and asked the neighbor if there was anything that she needed. And she said, well, she said, I haven't been able to get chicken thighs. I have them. She loves that particular part of the chicken, and she hasn't, and her daughter hadn't been able to find any. And Elaine says, I have a whole bag in my freezer. And even at the moment where, supplies are short, and even though Elaine doesn't eat chicken thighs, so anyway, she likes those. Her husband likes more white meat. Anyway, we won't get into that. But the point was that she took this and walked it over to her neighbor and gave it to her neighbor. And it was an opportunity again to be able to serve. But here's what I want you to think about today. The miracle of providing, of multiplying, was that for the 5,000 primarily, or was it for the 12? And the reason I say this is because, Jesus in chapter 9 and then in chapter 10, when he sends the disciples out, he tells them, don't take anything. Don't take a bag. Don't take money. Don't take anything with you. In other words, you're going to go out and serve me, and you're going to have to 100% depend on me providing for you where you are. And in doing that through the people that you're going to help or going to share with. It's through them that I will provide for you. And in these chapters in Luke, Jesus is telling them, don't worry about what you're supposed to eat or drink or clothe yourself with. Your Heavenly Father knows you need these things. You seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and these things will be added on to you. So I think the miracle of the feeding was primarily not just because Jesus wanted to feed a large group of people, but it was because of what he wanted to teach the disciples. because he wanted to let them know, I got you, right? I got you. I will provide for you. And the everyone else, the 5,000 plus, they all ate one meal, right? They all ate as had as much as they needed and wanted, and that was it. But only the 12 disciples, remember, they picked up at the end 12 basketfuls of bread that was left over. One basket for each one of the disciples. I mean, that was a clear message, right? They're all sitting there holding now their own basket, realizing the real multiplication happened for them. The others received provision. The disciples received multiplication. So those who were serving, those who were working, were those who received multiplication in their lives. But here's another thing I want you to think about. Like Elaine, Linda, and some of you have gone and shared with others who are in need. Well, just like Jesus sent the disciples out, and they needed to rely on other people who were not believers, there may be moments when it's your neighbor coming to you, when it's someone else that is coming to check on you, and you can't let pride get in the way, right? God provided for the disciples through the people they were going and wanting to help. You can't be thinking, well, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be sharing with you, and let pride or anything get in the way of that. Humble yourself, because that, as they love on you, it's an opportunity for you to be gracious, for you to accept that help, and for you to be able to share the gospel with them if they are willing to listen, or at least continue that relationship. So if you've done things, if you've shared with someone, if you have a story to tell, please let me know. You can email it to the church, or you can share it right here and post it on this link. Pictures or testimonies, we want to hear about how God is using you. And if you know of any need that we might be able to help with, please let us know what we might be able to do. If there's something we can do, we will definitely try. So let me just share, if you don't know our email, you can email us right here at info@syracusealliancechurch.org. info@syracusealliancechurch.org. And if you're watching this on Facebook, obviously you can see it and find it right there on Facebook. So let's continue to do that. We're trying to communicate. We're going to be streaming our service online at 10:30 this Sunday morning. So please be thinking about that. Get your family together. Share it on your page. Do a watch party. We want to get it out there so that people will be able to hear Sunday morning the good news, and then throughout the day, because people will maybe see it later because of you sharing it and posting and commenting. As they during this time need to hear some words of truth and hope. So we want to continue communicating. We sent out a letter through the mail. I hope everyone received that. If you have not, please, this is the time to make sure that you're getting our messages, our emails, our newsletters. We want to thank those who have already started to give. Right now the church is kind of the one that is in need as well, because of depending in this moment on prayer and on the church to be able to be the church and be supportive. So we've had some coming in and dropping off their offerings here at the church using the Easy Tithe app. If you haven't, you can just Google or search on your phone Easy Tithe, and you'll be able to give. Just search the Syracuse Alliance Church, and you'll be able to give. And because we need you as much as the community needs us, now we need the community as well to help us make it through this time. So let's be praying, let's be serving, let's be loving, and please share with us anything that the Lord has been teaching you, or any opportunities He has given you to share, or any needs that hopefully we can have an impact in. It's difficult, can't do everything, but that's not a reason to not try. So please let us know. All right, God bless you. We love you. Let's be ready to share, and we'll see everyone online. You'll be able to chat and make comments even with each other as we're going through the worship and the teaching on Sunday morning. So looking forward to that. God bless.